All right, so the next thing that we want to do today is go ahead and open up your simple input output if you didn't already do that. And if you click on the SRC, look up here at the top, like where all the menu buttons are. If you find this button that has a C with a plus sign on it, that's our shortcut to creating a new Java class. Okay? So if you click on that, okay, it allows you to create the new Java class. So we want to make sure that it says simple input output / SRC here. Then what we're going to do is we're going to write in, for the name of the class, output methods. Okay? And then we're going to click that we want a main method. So 3 things: simple input output, output methods, and then public static void main checkbox. Okay? Once you get those 3 things, go ahead and click finish. Okay. So we're going to start with some notes here. This is kind of review from yesterday. So we're going to say System.out refers to the console which is where we print our output. Okay, here we go. Out, the out part of that is actually an object. Okay? And objects have what we call methods that we can use to make them change. Or do something. Okay? Methods are like behaviors or actions. Methods are, let's say, defined behaviors, bless you, or actions. Okay? And methods end in parentheses. Okay? So, there's a couple ways that we can write those parentheses. All right? We can either do empty parentheses, or, sorry about that, or we can do parentheses with a value inside of them. With a value or values inside. Okay? Okay, so let's say this. The out object has some useful methods. All right? And let's kind of talk about that. So one of the methods that it has is called print. And we can tell it what to print. Okay? So that allows us to print X on one line. Whatever X is. Okay? And we'll go through examples of this, but we're just going to put our notes in here for now. Print ln, okay, this is an L. This is not a 1, this is an L. That print ln, okay, allows us to move to the next line. And there's one other method that we're going to use, and that's print ln again. But now we're going to put an X in there, and that allows us to print whatever X is, okay, and then move to the next line. Okay, so we can get rid of this comment right here. We don't really need that there. We're going to keep moving here. So let's go ahead and say in here system.out.print, and then what you're going to do is put in your own name, but make sure you put it inside of quotes. So I'm going to put was on there. Okay, so guys, when I program for you, I put in extra spaces. You don't need a space right there. Look up here for a second. Okay, you don't need a space right there or right there, but I put those in to make it more readable for you. Okay, so I don't have to worry about that. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put in some commands. We're going to run the code, see what it does. Okay, so right now I'm just putting in system.out.print and then my name. You can use your own name. And then we're going to go ahead and run that. Okay, so when I run that, it puts the console up here. It printed out was. Everyone can see that? Okay, so yours should print out your name. I don't like the console showing up here. I prefer the console to show up at the bottom. I don't care where you like your console or whatever, but if you want to move your console, you can select it and drag it to wherever you want it to show up. So I want mine to show up down here. So I just dragged it and dropped it right there, and that's what's going on with that. Okay? So that command prints was to one line. Okay? Or that instruction. Okay, then what we're going to do is we're going to go system.out.println. Again, that's an L. Okay? And if it puts an X in there or puts something in there, just get rid of it. Okay? And then we're going to go system.out.print, okay, likes cheese. You can put whatever you want in there, okay? And then we're going to run that again. Okay? LN. Yep. All right? And so just look up here, guys, so you can kind of see what's going on. All right? If I comment out this, all right? If I comment out this line, so you can do this when you're programming. I can comment out a line because I want to say like, oh, what does that line do? Well, let's take it away and see what happens. When it's in there, it goes was, and then there's on the next line, it's likes cheese. If I get rid of this and I run it again, it goes was likes cheese. You guys see the difference? So what does this line of code do? Puts the cursor on the next line. All right. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put in system.out.println, and inside of there I'm going to put in and beverages. Okay? So what I would like you to try to do is anticipate, without running your code, anticipate what this is going to print out. So what's maybe more important is not like just what words are going to print out, but where are the words going to be? So what's the first line going to be? The name. Okay, whatever the name is. So for me, it's going to be was. Is there a second line?
The one with the beverages. About the beverages.
Well, what is the second line going to say? Likes cheese. Is there a third line? And what does the third line say?
And beverages.
And beverages. Okay, let's go ahead and run it. So this one goes, was likes cheese and beverages. Okay, so let's look at this. Was is printed to one line. This println puts the cursor on the next line. Then we print likes cheese, but because this isn't println, the cursor stays on that same line. Okay? And we print and beverages. So the next thing that gets printed should be on the next line. So let's just go ahead and test that. Let's go system.out.print, and then we're going to go while he watches football. Okay, and then print that out. And now we have something on the next line because this ln right here puts the cursor on the next line after and beverages. You guys feel like you're following that okay? Okay, let me ask you another question. This looks weird, doesn't it? Cheese and? So how do I fix that? Huh? Where should I put a space? Okay, so I can either put it here before the and, or where else could I put it? After cheese up here. So I don't care which one you do, but you can always put a space in there to space things out so they look better. So Woz likes cheese and beverages while he watches football. All right, let's put in some more notes here. So the examples above are printing what we call strings of characters. Okay? We show a string of characters using quotation marks. Characters can include anything you can type plus some extras. Jeez. So extras include things that like you would never think about, like when you're sending a fax, there's a character that gets sent that tells the fax machine like, oh, you're going to receive a fax now. Okay, so there's little things like that that could go inside of quotes, but like we don't ever want to think about them. So we can also print other things. So we can also print other values, and I'll just give you guys some examples of that right now. So one of the things that we can print, and I'm just going to do a print ln to get kind of started with this. Okay, is we can print out a value, like a numeric value. So let's go print ln, and let's go 42. All right, and so if we run that, we'll see it still prints Woz likes cheese and beverages while he watches football, and then the number 42. Why the number 42? I don't know. Okay, we can print that kind of value, and that'll print true. Okay, now this true is not like the string true. This is what we call a Boolean value. It's either true or it's false. Okay, so this is a Boolean value. Okay, and so that'll print 42 true. All right. If we want to print text, we have to use quotes. Okay, so if I do something like system.out.println again, and I put in here was, okay, it gives me an error. All right, and what it says under that error is was cannot be resolved to a variable. Okay, in other words, it doesn't know what was is, and we'll talk about variables later on, but this right here will mess it up. Okay, so we'll just say was is not recognized by the computer for now. Okay, so if you do something like that, you got to remember to put it inside of quotes. Right now, this thing won't run because of that syntax error that we talked about earlier. Okay, so I'm just going to comment that out, but we still want to kind of see that. All right. And so we talked about println, and we talked about the difference between println, which is empty, like this example, okay, and println that has a value in it. Those are two different things, okay? And technically, this that I have highlighted right here, ln with the number in it, and println with true in it, and println with a string in it, are all different things, but we don't have to really worry about that right now. You just understand that you can print stuff and tell it what to print, or tell it to not print anything and go to the next line. You guys feel like this is making sense to you?